Hi, everybody. Welcome to Baseball Discourse. Well, the New York Yankees right now are coming through. They have played two big contenders in their tough 12-game stretch and have gone 4-2 against them. They started out in Houston, took 2 out of 3 from the Astros. Then over the weekend in New York, they took 2 out of 3 from Toronto. So now what's left? They have 3 against the Tigers and then 3 against the Red Sox in Fenway. And when you looked at that 12-game stretch, if you said the Yankees could go 7-5, even 6-6, when you look at the rest of the schedule, you'd sign for it. So give the Yankees credit. They've come through when they've had to come through. They've come through with that big series win at Houston, and then the big series win over the Toronto Blue Jays. Maybe the Yankees are getting it together at the right time. But still 6 games left, 3 against the Tigers at the stadium, and 3 at Fenway Park against the Red Sox. And we all know what the Yankees have done against Boston this year. They've lost 8 of 10, and they lost 3 at Fenway against the Red Sox. Now, that said, after that stretch, they play the White Sox, the Twins, and the Orioles in a couple of series. Now, that's not to disparage those teams because you never know what happens with these teams that play the role of spoilers. And you know what? You can talk all you want about, well, the Yankees have dominated the Twins. The Yankees own the White Sox. The Yankees have done a good job over the Orioles over the years. Not really. Orioles have had success against the Yankees in recent years. And this is a good Orioles team. Don't sell this Orioles team short, even though they're not going to make the playoffs. They could beat you at every step, particularly down the stretch when they're playing loose and free and the Yankees have something to play for. So what's going to happen? Who knows? Going to be fun, but the Yankees have made it interesting. Now the Mets, well, just when you think they're about to turn it around, they go to Cincinnati and they lose 2 out of 3. And will the Reds make a move? Who knows? The Tampa Bay, you think Tampa Bay suddenly is going to turn things around after that 7-game winning streak, and they lose 3 in a row to Cleveland at home. So now suddenly they're in a tailspin just when you think they might make a playoff push. But here come the Guardians making a playoff push. Texas Rangers, Kansas City Royals. Will the Seattle Mariners hang on? You could have a situation where the American League suddenly has a wild card race in addition to the race in the American League East involving the Yankees, the Blue Jays, and yes, still the Red Sox. The West, well, you like Houston's chances. The Central Division, you'd have to think the Tigers, but who knows? Down the stretch, the remaining 2.5 weeks is going to be fascinating. Then, of course, you got the National League. You would think the Phillies have the East sewed up, the Brewers, the Central Division sewed up. The West is not certain yet. Just when you think the Dodgers are going to turn it around, I mean, Yamamoto, here he is, almost pitches a no-hitter, 1 out away from a no-hitter, and then the roof collapses and the Dodgers lose on Saturday night. But how discouraged were the Dodgers after that heartbreaking Saturday night loss? Well, they came out and they defeated the Orioles on Sunday. That's the way baseball is. You are only as good as your next day's starting pitcher. So, going to be a lot of fun. Yankees defending American League champs. Right now, actually have a better record than the world champion Dodgers, the defending world champion Dodgers. And here, earlier in the year, I was looking at that Yankee lineup and saying, this team is going to struggle just to make the playoffs. And this was when they were in first. And then they dropped 6 games back, but now they're making a push. And the pressure, in a sense, is on the Toronto Blue Jays. But New York still has 6 big games, 3 against the Tigers and 3 against the Red Sox. And again, these races are not over yet. You would think the National League wildcard situation is all set, but maybe the Giants get hot again. And I thought they were making a move. Are the Cardinals coming up along the side? Go back to the 1964 Cardinals and see what they did. Anything is possible. That's why the wild card does make baseball exciting, and that's why the wild card with those 3 teams is here to stay. And I maintain, and I'll get to this in another baseball discourse, or maybe on my Dan on Sports podcast, I maintain baseball is really going to make a push for an expanded playoff system. But we'll get to that on another show. That's going to do it for Baseball Discourse. See you later.